Are we? We're alive! Yay!
Andy, you're on.
Hi, I'm Ande Parks, a comic book writer, inker, artist, best known for Run on Green Arrow and for some historical fiction graphic novels that I've written. And I co-created the Extraction film franchise. And you are watching Splash Pages.
Is the one obvious thing.
Everyone thinks because you're a zombie, you don't know good coffee. Well, they're wrong. There's only one brew that gets my seal of approval. Deadly Grounds coffee is my guilty pleasure. The aroma is so intoxicating. It brings all of my neighbors out of the woodwork. Deadly Grounds coffee. Coffee to die for and zombie approved. It's good to get a little deadly. Use the front door! Oh, they're so disgusting.
The Dorkening and all affiliated shows are not intended for anyone under the age of 18. The following may contain discussions or scenes that have adult situations, graphic violence, nudity, strong sexual content, and graphic language. This show is intended for mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised.
I'm sorry, Carrie. Guys, I'm trapped in a box. I don't think I can do the show today. Oh wow, this is troublesome. And just after Terrific Con, but me and Megan we were moving things, and I was looking for a place to put that Galactus, and oh gosh, I'm stuck in this box. We're gonna have to do the show without me. Not gonna be awesome.
Oh, sorry, Loyal. Well, we'll take over for this. So happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Splash Pages. We are back from Terrificon. We are somewhat recovered from Terrificon. We are drinking bourbon if we have it. And we have an awesome guest who you just saw come on. We also have an awesome guest host for this tonight. Let's hop over and see how MJ is doing.
Hello. I'm just glad to be back, guys. I'm MJ, curious of the goss, build of the cosplays. Back from Terrificon. It was fantastic seeing everybody, hanging out with you guys, and it's always a pleasure to be back.
Jar Jar.
Hey, it's Tuesday. How's everybody doing? I don't know about you guys, but I'm definitely not fully recovered from con yet.
Yeah, I can tell. Hey, everybody. This is not Leo Pond's hat, although we have a funny story about that. Welcome. It's nice to be back. It's been a minute since we've been on. So, despite what you may have heard, we did survive Terrificon. Definitely one of Jeremy's eyes is not real though, so I want to dispel that rumor. We can't talk about it though because there's definitely that NDA we signed. But we have a great guest here. We have our great guest host. Honestly, this is such a great honor to have on this creator. I say creator because he's not just an artist, he's also an inker. He's also a writer who's been working in the industry for quite a while. If you've seen work with artist Phil Hester, you've most likely seen his work. You've seen his stuff on Wonder Woman, Catwoman, Superman, Daredevil, Spider-Man, Green Arrow, Nightwing, Ant-Man. Just it goes on and on. Also the Green Hornet, of course. And there's also all of his other work. We're going to be talking about Extraction, which was based on his story that he did with the Russos, Ciudad. There's also Union Station as well, Capote in Kansas. But don't let me tell you. We'll have him tell you. So the one, the only, the man with the hat, Ande Parks.
Yay!
Thanks for having me, guys.
Oh,
Hello. So,
Hi.
how are you doing, Andy?
I'm very
I
well,
haven't seen
thank you.
for a bit. We got to.
I have to ask, Carrie, you met Andy at one of your conventions, correct, that you went to this year. How did that go?
Well, I first met him in Kansas City at Planet Terrificon, and
Planet
that
Comic-Con.
one, or Planet Comic Con. Yeah, sorry, got Terrificon
You got
on the brain.
Terrific on the brain now. Yeah.
Yeah, no, Planet Comic Con in KC, and that was the biggest con I've ever been to. And it was a slightly overwhelming experience. I was there to see Cullen and try to catch Andy and Phil, and Jason Aaron and a couple other people that were there. I didn't get as much done as I thought I could because I was just kind of like frozen with all the people that were there. But Andy was very nice, and it was funny because I wanted to talk to Phil Hester before a couple of the cons, and he missed out on the one in Grand Island that I believe was like the weekend after that. But Andy got me a book and he was signing it, and he's like, okay, here, Phil, sign this. And Phil was like not having a good moment. I don't know what was happening with his con or the person that he was talking with her, and he's just like, what? And handed it back. But then we go over to it was the Omaha Ocon, correct?
Ocon Expo, or yeah, something like that.
Yeah, Ocon Expo, and that was in Grand Island, even though it's in Nebraska, but we did just cross the river. And I had my panel with Phil, and I got to come over and sit with these guys, and you two, and he was just like, "You're the girl with the squirrel." And so this was, I was like, yes, I am the girl with the
Made
squirrel.
an impression, yes. Well, and I
But
remember
yeah,
you saying particularly that Squirrel might be enjoying some cocktails the night of the day I met you. So, yeah.
yeah, we did. It was a very
Did
stressful
you come
day.
to Planet on Saturday? Do you remember?
Yeah, I came on the first 2 days,
Because
and
Saturday, I mean, Friday's pretty chill. Saturday is pretty insane the whole time.
yeah, I was so glad I had a press pass because going out and just seeing the line wrapping and flowing through, and there were like people who were still the line never stopped waiting. You'd go outside to check out the food trucks or something, and it was just like, oh wow, these people, but it's like 6 hours in and these guys haven't even made it through the door yet. Okay.
But Carrie, I feel like though that's more common at conventions. Like even our beloved Terrificon had that that long line that went through the convention, through the parking lot, and weaved around the block. So like trust me, if you ever go to New York, like that is just a maze
Oh,
of waiting in line. And there are people who will literally get there the night before and camp out just to be in the front. So
yeah.
I
You'll never
routinely
see it.
go
Me
to
neither.
these cons, and I think God, I'm thankful for these people because they are going through things I would never go through to get into this thing.
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
very grateful because it's amazing. And they seem to, I don't see a lot of people miserable about it. They seem to be having a great time.
I mean, that's the important thing is that you're having a good time, because there's nothing worse than someone who's there and they're just in a crappy mood. Because I'm just like, hey man, don't harsh my mellow because you're having a cloudy day. Like,
Absolutely.
you know,
Yeah.
like I remember back in the day when New York was very Walking Dead centric. There were people who would go to New York just to sit and wait the whole day just to get to the Walking Dead panel that was like usually at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm sorry, I have ADD. I can't do it. Like an hour or two for the right person, sure. A whole day in line, no.
This is an extreme example because we're talking San Diego, which is as big as it gets in America.
Of course.
But about 12 to 15 years ago, somewhere in that range, I'd been out all night Friday at San Diego. I'm walking back to my hotel room, which is at the far end of the pier, so I got to walk by the convention center.
Right.
And it's about 1 or 2 a.m. And there's a line of people parked outside the convention center on blankets and pillows. And I said, wow, what are you guys, what are you lined up for? They were there for the Harry Potter panel the next day. And I said, is that like first thing in the morning? Like, no, it's like 3, but you gotta get in and get your Hall H seat and just sit there all day until Harry Potter happens. I was like, oh my God, this is devotion.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Yeah, I'm spoiled by Terrificon and then like the Ocon Expo, and I will have to go to NebraskaCon next year. Jar, I'm going to mute you just for a second there. StreamYard people, it always brings out the worst in your microphones. But having these smaller groups and easier things. But there was one thing at Comic-Con in KC, Planet Comic-Con. They had like emotional support animals there. So if you were like stressing out, you could go pet a dog, or they had a little horse, like a tiny horse, walking around that was like the cutest thing ever. I was just like, oh my God, there's a tiny horse.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Carrie, depending on the horse, that could be called a little Sebastian for Parks and Rec fans, but it's okay. Point is, we'll talk to Mitch about including an animal zoo to his budget for next year.
And there were corgis and there all these. No, that was at Ocon. Anyway,
Carrie,
it's becoming a thing.
Carrie, I'm glad I wasn't there because I'd never leave that room. Because I would just be doing corgi therapy. I was just like,
we literally turned around and we're like, wait, he was just behind us. Oh, we lost to the corgis.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, I'm processing second grade. I have so many years to go through. Just
the
so
corgis
cute.
were at Ocon, but but there was the little horse was at or the tiny horse was at Planet Comic-Con. Sorry,
it's amazing.
But I did want to say though, I was. Were you in the panel with Jeremy Hahn as well? There was like one panel that I attended because they babysat me pretty well there. I had like a con mother who I was kind of sitting and doing the little bit of like overwhelmed stuff, and she was just like, "Hug, it's okay, deep breaths, you're gonna make it." And the next day when I was gonna go to the panel, I was like walking down the hall and just suddenly like grab the table because I have epilepsy too, which if I get a panic attack kind of situation going on, it'll sometimes turn into a seizure. So I try not to be alone. And I like kind of grabbed this table, and there was a gal in a wheelchair and her boyfriend were sitting right across the table at the hall, and they're like, "You okay?" And she's just like, "Hon, go get her." And he grabs me and sets me down. I have Radosky sitting there, and I'm like, "I'm sorry if I'm," and they're just like, "Calm down. What you doing? Where are you going?" "Okay, you're going to this panel. We're going to take you there." I get through things really fast because I'm in a wheelchair. And I'm like, "Okay, sorry about the squirrel." And she pulls out a dragon and she's like, "It's not weird. It's okay. We all have our emotional support things. Everything's good. And they walked me down and they sat down with me until the panel went in and just were like, if you need anything, find us through the con and we'll take care of you.
Okay.
So it was a huge con, but they were so nice and they had babysitters. They had all sorts of wonderful people looking out for us. So it was
Really
a
well
really
done.
good experience. Yeah. That is
I have an
awesome.
emotional support snail.
Nice.
There you go.
Do
There
you
you
have
go.
anything,
Very,
Andy?
very lucky that
When I
in
go
my
to
hometown
convention,
of Kansas
lipstick
City,
gets tattooed.
we have a con that's gotten so huge and is so well run. It's
Nice.
just amazing. Chris Jackson's the guy who started it, and he has delegated a lot of stuff out to amazing support staff, and they really do a great job.
That's the thing with a lot of cons. You have to have that support because, you know, you can prepare as much as possible, but things will go wrong. That's
Yeah.
just the inevitability of anything a human being builds. There
And what
will be
happens
things
if you've
that
seen,
day
you've
that will
seen
go
this at
wrong.
other cons where the promoter, the owner, whatever,
Right.
won't delegate, and they end up overwhelmed, and things end up not getting done because one person can't possibly track all those things.
Absolutely. It's absolute insanity. And, you know, again, it's another reason why, like, again, for us, whenever we're at a convention, we're always checking in with creators like yourself, Andy, just making sure everybody's good. If anybody needs like a water or something, we have that kind of thing at our booth because, you know, maybe you're having an all-day drawing marathon and you just haven't had the time to get something to drink. And we could just bring you a nice cold bottle of water. You're like, well, that was nice of you. Thank you.
That is
You know,
nice,
and if
yeah.
you just so happen to come by our booth to do an interview or talk to us, I mean, you know, that's cool too. You know, it's not a bribe if it's humanity.
Right.
Right, Carrie?
Exactly. And it's totally
Exactly.
not stalking if I come up with the weirdest on-target present in the world. That's
Nope. That's
No,
just
they're
good
really good at that stuff.
old-fashioned human generosity.
Yep.
So, Andy, I want to kind of pivot to kind of talk about you a little bit. So I understand that you started your career in comics, right? With Dark Horse. You were an inker.
Yeah. I broke in at I think it was called Malibu Press at the time for like $10 a page doing small press stuff. I think the first gig that I got, what I considered kind of a living wage, was inking Phil on a book called Freaks and More that was at Dark Horse.
Mm-hmm.
And around that time, I moved from Kansas to Philadelphia. My wife was ready to get her PhD, and she got accepted into Penn. And I moved to Philly, which let me go to New York because in 1991, it was still helpful to be in New York and go see the editors in person.
Right.
I would take the train up, and within that first year, I started getting work at DC.
Mm.
Just from
very
like,
cool.
instead of seeing Mike Carlin once a year at a convention, I was standing in his office and he'd find me something to do. And
Nice.
I've heard lots of nice things about walking around inside the DC offices and
it
seeing
was
all.
cool. I had very different experiences, and this varies. Other creators feel differently. I always felt like Marvel, the offices back in those days, felt like kind of a crazed frat house environment. And DC felt like a business where people made appointments and they took the freelancers out to lunch, and it just seemed more civilized to me. I felt more at home there.
Like you said, everyone has their own, everybody has their own side of the story.
Yeah.
But, well, yeah, because speaking of that, I mean, you worked on and off for both DC and Marvel. You did, like I said in the intro, you did Wonder Woman, Catwoman, Superman, Daredevil, Spider-Man. So you got to ink a lot.
Yeah.
You're a who's who of essentially modern comic book universes. I know Batman and Captain America are your favorites, right? But was there anybody in particular that became a favorite as you were working?
Yeah. It's an easy answer because it's the thing I'm most known for, but Green Arrow changed my life in a lot of ways.
Right.
Kevin Smith and Bob Schreck, the editor, asking for Phil and I on that book changed our whole careers. We went from guys who were getting along and scrambling job to job kind of to like an established team.
Right.
Until then, DC was hiring us independently, but they were kind of scared to hire us to work as a team. I think they thought we were too weird as a team. And that changed. Suddenly we were like a regular mainstream comic art team. And nice. Oh, look at that.
Very cool.
Yes.
And I had an affinity for the character already because I love the Denny O'Neil, Neil Adams stuff so much. So I really latched on to Oliver Queen, and he became like my favorite thing to work on. And the fact that it changed my whole career, which changed my life, is kind of feeds into that.
Yeah. And speaking of, I mean, like I said, Phil is one of your longest collaborators.
Yeah.
You know, and that's not the first time that, you know, we've seen in comics where somebody kind of becomes like the preferred thing. Like, how did you two meet? And what kind of creates this almost like you're a package deal? Like if he's on the book, you're involved as well.
Yeah.
Like,
we met at a show in Kansas City before there was a Planet Comic Con. There was a local comic book club that put on shows. And we met there. We both had tables. I don't know if we were guests or if we had to pay for our tables. It's possible we had to pay $30 to sit at the table.
Right.
And we recognized a lot of things that we had in common. We were kind of at the same stage of development, like pretty good, ready to break in, but not really in yet, you know? Very hungry to break in. And we had the same kind of tastes. We tend to like work that's bold and graphic, instead of detailed and noodly and finely finished. We like stuff that makes an impact.
Right.
And we wouldn't find this out for a while, but we even kind of, when we're drawing, we move our hands the same way. Like we kind of lock our wrists and make bold motions like this when we draw. So I don't know. We just kind of clicked and did a couple covers for fanzines and thought, yeah, I thought this is the right kind of guy for me to ink. It's a guy who draws everything, but I still feel like I'm contributing with something with my personality when I work with him. And he felt like this is a guy who's finishing this stuff like if I were interested in finishing it. So we just felt comfortable. And like I said, we worked for a while on small press stuff. A lot of stuff before DC hired us together. And then after Green Arrow, we were just kind of an established duo. And if somebody wanted Phil, he would ask for me until I think I've retired from inking 5 or 6 times now and gone back. I become a full-time writer for a year, and then I go, oh, yeah, I want to ink that one job, so I'll go back to it. But yeah, I became his default guy if he needed an inker.
Right.
And you two are like a well-oiled machine. When I was sitting with you guys, they're doing commissions and it's just handing stuff back and forth because they're both doing the commission. So it's, okay, here, hold this up, take a picture, your turn to work on it, give me that. Okay, I'll work on this. And it's just, it's lovely to see. Like,
thank you. We're very comfortable with each other. I mean, we love each other. We're dear friends. We know how we work. Yeah, it's easy.
Yeah, Carrie, you can just imagine them fitting in those old Marvel studios where the guys would just be sitting there with the cigarettes and the cigars slumped over, just like, hey, Fred, are you done with that panel? Yeah, I just finished this page. All right, I'm going to take 5. All right, yeah, cool. We're going to get sandwiches in like 20. Yeah, cool. All right, cool. I'm paying this time.
Right.
You know, just again, like you guys are workhorses, but like you said, you enjoy the run.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you guys just fall in that rhythm and you're like, it's effortless now.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't want to imply that the work just kind of, we fall asleep and do the work. There's still we're still both really trying, but with it, we know the push and pull between us is very comfortable, you know?
Oh yeah.
But there is an element, part of why I became a writer, and sorry, I'm jumping. This may be a question you guys had in mind 10 minutes down the line.
No, you're fine.
Forgive me if I'm jumping.
No, listen, we're ADD, so whatever you want to jump, man, go for it.
I wanted to start writing for 2 reasons. One is connected to that. after a while, after you're inking for a decade, you kind of start to go, okay, I think I know what I'm doing here. And the creative challenge and passion that first greeted me when I was learning how to ink is fading a little. I'm feeling very comfortable in what I'm doing, which is fine. But you start to kind of want a new challenge, something to really push you. So writing did that for me. And two, I wanted to own things. I wanted things in the world that I benefited if they blow up.
Right.
Like I didn't want to spend my life begging 30-year-old editors for scraps of work on characters that I didn't own. So I wanted to play that lottery a little bit. I wanted to have some product out in the world that was mine.
Okay. So basically that's kind of what ties into why you like returning to doing your historical fiction.
Yeah, I decided I think I want to, in addition to inking, I want to have. Oh look, did you? Yeah, okay. I just see the comments over here, and I can't decide if I jumped the gun on Jeremy there or not.
No, you're good.
He's having mic issues, so he's
right. I decided, yeah, I was always maybe more comfortable as a writer than I was an artist. Artist was more work for me initially. The problem was if you're in your 20s and you bombed out of college and you're sitting in Kansas trying to think I'm going to have a career in comics, I didn't know how to do that as a writer. I didn't know how to take a script to somebody and say, is this, this? It seemed much easier to put lines on paper and go to a convention and have an editor go yay or nay within 10 seconds. You can kind of tell, do they have some chops or not? So when I started thinking, I don't want to rely on just inking for the rest of my life. I think I want to go into writing. And what drew me into historical fiction was just what I was passionate about, for one. I always was reading biographies and histories, and I love history stuff. And then I read Alan Moore's From Hell, his Jack the Ripper book. And I thought, wow, if you can kind of educate people in such a way that they don't even realize they're being educated, they're just kind of swept up in this big epic thing. That's really exciting to me. So I kind of leaned into Kansas City history and started looking for things I could do that with.
Well, Andy, I'm just going to tell you right now, the person your screen is next to, you and her could go back and forth for probably an hour itself talking about From Hell, because that's, I think, one of Carrie's favorite, if not her favorite.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that. Nice.
Yeah, Carrie, I'm going to let you talk about you, not like, it's just like she's not in the room here, but when I saw that the From Hell was a big inspiration, I was like, oh boy, he met the right person with the squirrel puppet. Go, Carrie. Tell him.
I have my top shelf over here of my bookcase is pretty much all Jack the Ripper stuff. And and I do love Alan Moore. I love history as well, and a lot of the royals and stuff. I've been watching some really weird channels on YouTube that are like just the fucked up things that happen in royal families, and I'm just like, okay, I love learning about these different things. But like Charles II of Spain, somebody needs to do a book on him, because my God, and no family could have deserved that better than him. But yeah, sorry, I don't know why I have some of my like biases that I do, but
it's okay, Carrie.
I know I've never met a Habsburg, but I'm just like, fuck the Habsburgs. They were terrible people, all of them. Of course they got that inbred because they were horrible and they deserved it.
Right.
And people are like, what's wrong?
Carrie, what you're looking for is called historical bias.
I have not either, but I have met Eddie Campbell, and he's a lovely guy.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, I want to have a hair fight with Alan Moore at some point. Yeah. Like you saw it. You saw it at the con when I was just like.
I've always been very hesitant about making any jokes about that kind of thing, because I'm always terrified that one day I'm going to meet him, and in that gravelly, deep voice, he's going to be like, you gonna say things about my beard now? And I'm like, no, nothing about the beard, sir. No, just sign these. No, big fan. Just here you go, $10. There you go. Whatever the currency is, out. Because I remember I had this joke. I was convinced that Alan Moore's beard just eats his critics or naysayers. So it's just kind of like it's like that creep show skit, The Raft, just sucks them in.
Right.
So I was just because I was like, and then he's like, oh, he's magic, and I'm like, oh God, he's magical. Somebody gave him powers. Oh no, and then Carrie's hair is essentially made of the same midnight magic. So then I was like, oh my God, there could be a hair fight, and then who's the only one that wins? Who has the scissors of destiny? That is the only one. But I've always been terrified because he's Alan Moore. So if I ever got to meet him, I would lose my shite because,
yeah,
But I've always been so
make
scared.
it easy to meet him.
Yeah, but Carrie, I think it's a fair fight, Carrie. But I feel Alan Moore might win. He
has the beard, and
yeah,
Yeah, but you got the hair. Like you twist those into pigtails.
Wow.
that shit can get real intense, man.
Yeah, it's over 3.5 feet long now. So
wow.
Yeah.
Yep. True story.
So I've just. Oh no, Drew and I talked about this too after I had gotten a chance to meet you two together. At some point, you guys are perfect. You and Phil together. We need to get you guys to do a commission for us, and we'll talk prices later. Of the Splash Pages crew being mocked by Etrigan, introduced in a mocking fashion, because I think that it would just be amazing.
That would be great.
To see that.
Well, see, Carrie, you're just unlocking all the keys because you mentioned Alan Moore for this guy. You just said Etrigan for MJ, and she loves that yellow horn bastard. Yes. So point being is she definitely loved what you and Phil and Kevin did with Etrigan in Quiver. Just the big old
cool.
Yeah, go
literally,
MJ, go.
I'm designing, no lie, I'm actually designing an Etrigan tattoo currently.
Nice.
Etrigan, as far as DC, is by far, in my humblest of opinions, one of the most underused characters in the DC line. They could be doing so much more than what they do, but I love his character. I love the duality that Jason Blood is connected, back and forth. I love a lot of duality stories like that because, the beast is sleeping, not dead. So no matter how in control Jason Blood appears,
yeah,
that's not the guy. Don't.
Right.
I just leave him alone.
That was one of the great things about working on that book.
So much.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin knew he had a limited space to play with the DC universe. So he had a list of characters he was dying to touch, and he asked Phil and I think Demon happened because Phil and I said we'd really love to draw the Demon. That's
awesome. When I got to meet Phil, I think the first time, and because I've actually dressed as onomatopoeia because he's one of my favorite, and I have the two
you
issues.
Have a good coat?
Yeah, I had everything. I had and I went to a Terrificon like that because my friend was a Green Arrow, so and he was a fan of what you guys did on that, and I wanted to be onomatopoeia, so I made the mask and I had it in the black mask. I had the symbol. And I covered it in glow in the dark paint. So if the lights went out, you could still see the symbol. And I committed, I didn't say a thing, but of course the sound effects.
Right.
And for the life of me, I don't know where my mask went. But I had photos because me and my friend had recreated some stuff that you guys had done. And I showed it to Phil when I got to meet him one Terrificon. He was like, oh, that's great. And I was like, that's all I need. All I need is Kevin to just give his approval. And then I'm like, done. No need. He's back. I'm putting him back where he belongs, where all the sound effects are plenty. Go.
Awesome.
Well, yeah, no, onomatopoeia was just one of the best in in your work there with Kevin. Like, oh, so
Yeah.
good.
I love his design, and that's probably my favorite cover of the Matt Wagner stuff is the onomatopoeia one, with the sound effects all over.
Snap.
Yeah, the best.
Oh God, yeah. Like, actually, damn it. Hold on. MJ, you look like you're going to say something. because I had somebody do a little commission of him, and I want to show it to you because I feel like you really get a good kick out of that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Go.
MJ? Did you have something?
I'm like, I'm the build the cosplay. If someone needs something built, I mean,
Yeah.
So
I got it. Carrie, full page me.
Yep.
Whoa.
See? There
That's
you go.
amazing. Is that a Franco?
Yeah, it's a Franco.
Awesome. Oh, I love him.
Yeah, me and my girl, we have an art wall in our living room, and it's just made of little mini commissions that we have gotten over the years, and we're really good friends with Franco and the All Yeah team, and these guys can back me up on that. And it was like a running gag when we were really heavily in the convention circuit. We'd always do a cosplay, and it wasn't official till he did like a little $10 drawing of it. So I'm looking at it right now, and I'm just like, yep, you haven't lived till Franco has drawn you as a character, and it's just the funniest.
That's great.
But but this is one of the few, and yeah, I was really proud of that. So, yep, and I showed that to Phil, and he was like, "That's adorable." I was like, "That's adorable, but dangerous.
Yes.
Don't underestimate."
So as you both ink and write, approaching Etrigan, as he has a very specific style and a very specific way of speaking that can be butchered badly if not handled right.
I've never written him. I think he'd be very challenging to write. Kevin did a great job. Is it From Page to Page?
Mm-hmm.
I kept one of those. He's about to say bitch. He's set up the rhyme with Stitch, and then he calls Black Canary like a vile, stinking, and he either gets cut off or something. It's a new starting page. It's my favorite.
Nice. He would.
Yeah, absolutely.
He would.
But yeah. So MJ, I assume you're a stickler. Like you need him to speak in that pattern, right?
My Etrigan absolutely must speak in rhyme.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's a demon snob. She was like
kind of am. No,
she has like this checklist. If her she's very protective of the demon boy. She's just like there's like, did you do all these things? I was like, no, you missed one, bro. Like, nope.
I am. I'm
not my Etrigan.
I don't even remember like when I became so obsessed with Etrigan, but I was like, I like him a lot. Like my first real introduction to like the character itself was, I think, Batman the Animated Series.
Thank you. Same here.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, that's it. Surely there must be more. Surely.
Right. And then he shows up on then he shows up on Brave and the Bold. And he's more accurate because he's actually rhyming.
And in Justice League as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm literally can tell you when he
Yeah. Whoa. We don't have time for that. But
no, but he looks, first of all, his look is fantastic.
Yeah.
Like the yellow fins, and no matter who draws him, I love each and every one of the ones of the renditions of Etrigan because I love seeing different artists on the same character. And I love this character.
Yeah.
No matter, so far I've liked every renditions I've seen of him so far.
Have you ever? This is really nerdy. Forgive me. Have you ever seen the Prince Valiant panel that Jack Kirby kind of ripped off or homage to get that design?
Oh my God, I forgot about that. Yeah,
there's a Hal Foster Prince Valiant panel where he draws, and I think in the Prince Valiant it might be like a chicken mask or something. I forget what it is.
Yeah, it was something like
Kirby
that.
had obviously seen it, and he's like, "That's a cool ass look. I'm stealing that."
Well, I mean, And again, because Jack was one of your like inking idols, right? It was Neil Adams, Frank Miller, Jack, and Dick Giordano, right?
Yeah, those are the big ones.
Did you ever
Jack
get
was
to?
the first
Mhm.
artist I ever looked at in comics and thought, oh my God, I don't know how somebody made an impact that enormous with like so few lines. It seems impossible.
Listen, I remember learning about the first ever San Diego Comic-Con being at like a hotel, and the big guests were it was Leonard Nimoy and Jack Kirby, and I was like, I would give one of my fingers, probably a pinky, just to go and be there for that, to both meet Leonard, but also just be like, that's Jack Kirby. That is Jack fucking Kirby right there, the fourth world himself.
Literally, oh my gosh. When I did my Gambit stuff, I literally managed to recreate the Kirby crackle in that stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, man. Yeah. But, well, I have to ask, Annie, so again, you worked like 40 something, like you worked a lot of issues with Green Arrow. And wasn't just Kevin, it was Kevin Smith, Brad Meltzer, Judd Winick.
Yep.
You know, did you have any particular favorite like Green Arrow moments? I mean, I know there was a lot, but like each like point of that series had some really heavy moments and things. Of course, you know, with Phil, and I'm just like again, talk about top notch, man.
Yeah.
Like did you just sit there and was like, this is my world right now, and you're like, this is so cool.
So people often say, well, I didn't realize at the time, but Phil and I definitely knew this was kind of a life-changing opportunity. There was a while where we would talk like every day. I'd call him just because I was so excited about what we were doing. Like, holy crap, Deadman's in this issue.
Right.
And Demon or Phantom Stranger, like, what the hell? And then Brad comes on, and he's the same kind of guy. He's never written comics before. He's like, damn, I like Solomon Grundy. I want to do a Solomon Grundy issue. We were freaking out about that.
Yep.
And then Judd came along and gave us the whole Mia HIV and all that stuff that was really poignant, I thought. So each of them brought something new that was exciting. Just really a thrilling run. And, you know, after 40 issues of one character, you get sick of, you're like, oh my God, we have to draw the hat again. Jesus Christ. The hat is kind of weird, you know, different angles. Phil would, like, as soon as Green Arrow got in a fight, Phil would have somebody knock Green Arrow's hat off because we've had it. So
yeah,
after 40 issues, certain elements, but it was constantly exciting. Oh my God, I'd forgotten you're showing stuff I'd forgotten we'd drawn. Jesus.
I know because I Carrie, like how MJ loves Etrigan. I know Carrie, you correct me if I'm wrong, Carrie, but you have a kind of a soft spot for Solomon Grundy.
Oh yes, I do. Which is why when I was visiting them at Oakland, I got that one, the Solomon Grundy, because Solomon Grundy's just kind of cool.
Yeah,
he is. He's like Hulk meets Swamp Thing.
Basically, that's a really clever way to describe Solomon Grundy.
Yeah,
it's an
that was
undead Hulk.
One of our very favorite issues because it was almost all fight. Yeah, and it's in the cave. Suddenly, the Green Arrow car is flying through the air. It's really cool.
I think to me, I never get tired of people making fun of Green Arrow, unintentionally ripping off, or maybe consciously ripping off Batman.
Yeah,
and it's just the fight. It's kind of like the thing I imagine that Jason Voorhees and Mike Myers would get in a fight over. Like, you rip me off. No, you, me, and then just death. You know, and like good. Again, just the parallels. And even people are like, you have a cave. You have the Arrow Cave.
And there's a car in there?
Yeah, is there a car in there? Yeah, there's a car in there. Mm-hmm. You got little display cases of your trophies. Do you have a big computer? Oliver, this is you know, you got a sidekick too. So just saying this is not looking good.
Right.
You know, like you're lucky Bruce Wayne is like, no, you're fine. We're on the same team. I won't sue.
It's funny. So the part of the Green Arrow drawing I can see on my screen because we're covering most of it,
Mhm.
but I can see Green Arrow's forearm,
Yep.
and I'm hoping that's a small panel in the book because if it's a big
Yes.
panel, I should have inked his forearm hair.
Oh yeah.
It's
Yeah. Because
it's
Phil
the
would never draw that. It
bottom.
was always my job to put on the hair. And so I'll tell you guys a funny story about Green Arrow's body hair.
Please do.
Oh,
There's a guy named Andy Mangels, comic book writer, advocate, gay man, bigger than life personality, great guy.
Mhm.
We're at San Diego one year, and Andy comes by the table and he says, "Guys, love Green Arrow, not enough body hair. Are you shirtless? Come on, help me out." So over the next year, whenever Ollie had his shirt off, I went nuts. Like, I was really putting the hair on there. Thinking of Andy every time. The next year we're at San Diego. Andy comes by the table. I see it. He's a tall guy. I see him just appear over other people. He doesn't say anything. He just catches our eyes. He goes,
He just knew. He was like, "You did
he
it."
was satisfied. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very proud moment.
It's always so funny when that kind of thing happens because I remember thinking a similar thing rereading like a lot of Nightwing, and at one point I felt like I remember reading Nightwing and I like the way certain people were drawing him. I was like, guys, his name is Dick Grayson, not James Howlett. Like they were drawing him buff and like covered in hair, and I'm like, whoa, he is a circus performer. He
Right.
is not Weapon X.
Right.
Like it drew him like really buff and bulky. I was like, no. I said Dick Grayson, not Danzig. Calm down, sir. So it's so funny that you say that because it's true. Like sometimes I was like, does everyone wax in the DC and the Marvel universe?
Right.
Because I don't see a thing like just taut, strong muscles. And I'm like, okay, that's nice, but human beings and genetics,
But
Right.
people. Yeah.
people.
What
You
people?
know, people. I'm not saying every hero has to have Robin Williams arms, but for the love of God, like a little fuzz here and there for the,
Right.
Jesus. So, but kind of segueing into something else because we read like 6 issues of your Lone Ranger hardcover.
I'm really proud of that book. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just going to say I've never read any Lone Ranger up to this, so this was a nice introduction to the character. I mean, everyone knows who the Lone Ranger is, in a way. But I felt like there was an interesting parallel because I was reading your book. I kind of thought a lot about like what Jimmy Palmiotti and Justin Gray did with Jonah Hex.
Uh-huh.
You're taking this character who's very kind of like a pulp character, you know what I mean? Someone from a different era in comics, and you're still telling stories. He's still here. He's still, I don't want to say relevant is the word, but still consistently present.
Yeah.
So when you were working on it, like, were you a fan? And working on a character like that, were there any challenges that you came up while doing it, and how did you overcome them?
That was an interesting saga. So I was working on other stuff for Dynamite, and Nick Berrucci said, "Hey, we want you to write a Death of Zorro miniseries. It's Zorro and Lone Ranger, and Zorro dies." And I was like, "Okay, great." I was all excited to write the Death of Zorro, and I was going to have, 4 issues of Zorro's mighty struggle, and then he dies, and it's poignant, and Lone Ranger's there, and
Right.
And then they say, "Yeah, so Zorro dies right off the bat, and then Lone Ranger has to figure out what happened." I was like, "Oh crap! I'm not writing a Zorro book. I'm writing a Lone Ranger book, and I don't really know this guy." So I dove into old Lone Ranger stuff, some comics and the shows, but more particularly, Dynamite was just coming off a long run of reinventing Lone Ranger, kind of for a more modern audience. I dove into all that stuff. And I decided, yeah, I think I'm excited to work on this guy because his values are so pure. Again, he's kind of like a Captain America guy. He has very upright, unflexible values. And you crash him into situations where those values don't fit neatly, and you see what happens. Like, I think you're showing pages from the second issue there, maybe, if I remember right.
Yeah.
I remember that
Yes.
middle
This is
panel of one
issue
of those
2.
pages. I have Lone Ranger say "damn," and that's controversial with some core Lone Ranger fans.
I'm sorry, Andy. That was very Captain America of him, because I remember he was like, "Hot
Yeah.
damn!" He's like, "Son, watch your mouth."
Right.
Like it was very Captain America in the second in Age of Ultron. Like,
Right.
watch your language.
So in that second issue, I present Lone Ranger with the situation where either this old gunfighter is going to go out and kill himself kind of by suicide with an angry mob,
Mm-hmm.
or he's going to go out and shoot some innocent people. And Lone
Right.
Ranger, not being able to kill anyone, has to figure out how to solve this dilemma. So
Yeah.
that's how it started. And then as I got into it, and by the time I was done with my first arc, I realized that what this book was about for me
Mm-hmm.
was why Lone Ranger and Tonto?
Yes.
Why have these two men bonded in such a way that they want to spend their lives together doing these things? And so every story after that kind of became what bonds these two, what holds them together in a way that's rewarding for them and
Mhm.
makes them compelling. So the second arc is all about Tonto's backstory,
Right.
because everybody knows Tonto, like Lone Ranger left for dead and Tonto finds him and nurses him back to health and so on. I think the question that had never been answered was, why was Tonto wandering around by himself to find Lone Ranger in the first place? So that's what my second arc is all about. And at the end, it leads to Tonto saying, I've lost my family, I've lost my tribe. You are what I have now, and I value this. And so that's kind of what that's what it became for me.
Okay. I mean,
I'm going to jump back.
Dark hair.
Sorry.
Go ahead. No, I was just saying
no, you go.
again. Yeah, I was just saying, like, I just, like, at some point, I just kept expecting, like, Jonah Hex to show up,
Yeah.
and then there would just be, like, this, just essentially, like, this, we are the same, but we are very different. You know, we are cowboys in the lawless West, dealing with things, but the big difference, of course, is Jonah Hex has no problem with killing anyone.
Right.
While
He's ready to kill it. Yeah.
Yeah, like, while the Lone Ranger is like, I will shoot you in the fucking hand, but I will not kill you. And even everyone's like, I don't want to deal with you because I don't want to get shot in the hand. Like, you know, it was just so funny. I remember, I think it was near the end of the Hard Country. The one guy, the evil leader of Utopia, is just, I was like, yeah, I'm not dealing with this. I'm not going to get shot in the hand. Like, but we're going to hang you. And I'm like, well, you're going to get shot in the hand. I don't know. Like, you know, we keep doing bad things and you think there's not going to be any punishment. Like, no, like, you got to wear stronger gloves. You know, Jesus. So
There's
I haven't been very good about paying attention to Jeremy's comments over there. But
Oh,
I do
no.
want to
I was
comment.
just going to say in the chat, I was just trying to bring attention to this.
Yeah,
If you think you asked.
Jeremy, Dynamite was great about licensed characters. I never heard a peep about Lone Ranger. Their estate never said anything. I was respectful, and they respected what we were doing, and it was all good. Same with the Green Hornet and Kato stuff.
yeah.
That was kind of re-envisioned because Kevin had kind of reinvented that whole world. But I never heard anything. I had one issue. I wrote a Shadow annual,
Mhm.
and I had one issue. At the end of the annual, I basically implied that the Shadow killed Bugsy Siegel.
Mhm.
And whoever was the caretaker of the Shadow said, I don't like it. You shouldn't do that. But my editor and I both felt like it was a really strong element of the story. And not to tell tales out of school, this is like 15 years ago, so I don't think anybody cares. The editor said, just ignore that. We're going to do it anyway. So even though we got a note, we just did it our way, and it was published, and it was fine. So
Nice.
I had a great experience there. Nobody was riding over on my shoulder the whole time saying, whoa, whoa, whoa.
So speaking of swearing and shooting people, and Drew had mentioned before losing fingers or giving up fingers and such. Let's talk a little bit about Ciudad,
Yes,
because this is awesome.
this
Not
is
that
so
everything else
good.
isn't as well, but I wanted to ask, because you were writing this, and I could get through here. You write. What is the script writing process? How did you learn it as you came in as an inker and then went into writing with all of the fight scene stuff? Because you know how to draw it and how to make
Yeah.
it look. So how do you describe all of the fighting as it goes?
It's a
'Cause
tricky
this
thing
is
to learn, and I think I'm probably a little bit on. So there's a spectrum of not wordy at all for comic strips, and then Alan Moore. I don't know who is over here. Somebody who's very efficient. And then I don't know if you've seen an Alan Moore script, he'll write 2 pages about one panel, just describing every single element, what's in the foreground, what's in the background, all this stuff. I'm probably a little more on the wordy spectrum, but the way I describe a comic book script is it's like half screenplay and half letter to the artist. In the end, the script is just a tool to get the art produced that will fit the story.
Mhm.
So sometimes I go on a bit, and often I've written several comics where there was a language barrier.
Mhm.
The people I was working with spoke English, but it wasn't their first language, and so I wanted to be sure I was very clear and not leave them hanging about things that might be culture specific or whatever. So I will go into some details saying, look, I want to pull in a little bit here. I want to pull back a little bit here. I need this foreground element because it sets up so and so. And then I'll write all the dialogue. But at the beginning of every project, I put a note to the artist saying, I'm going to give you artistic things that occur to me just so you know there's a way to do this. But my way is probably not the best way. And I trust your instincts. And if you want to take off on this and go your own way, please
Well,
do. I wouldn't be working with you if I didn't trust you in that way. So
yeah.
I
And
give them information, and then I trust them to run with it in whatever direction they feel.
yeah, I mean, and what was it like? Like, how did that working with the Russos, who, are at this point considered MCU
Yeah.
like royalty? And it's funny because again, I remember them when they were doing episodes of like Arrested Development or Community.
Exactly.
So to see them, essentially lay the groundwork for, I would say, like the third act of the first, the MCU, Infinity War, Civil
Yeah.
War, Endgame, that kind of thing.
Well, when I met them, they were not the Russo brothers. They'd worked on Community. They had done Arrested Development. They'd done a
Right.
show called Carpoolers that I was a big fan of, but only in one season. They'd made 2 features. They made Welcome to Collinwood, which is kind of a comedy heist thing.
Mhm.
And they made a romantic comedy called You, Me, and Dupree.
Yes.
And they were dying to get back to features, and they were dying to get back to kind of action features.
Right.
But this is like 16 years ago. So they had no presence in the Marvel universe yet. They had not directed a Captain America movie, let alone an Avengers movie.
Hmm.
And they approached Eric Gitter, who was the producer attached to Oni Press, who was a publisher I was attached to.
Right.
And said, hey, we have an idea about this guy who's a kidnap expert, an extractor, and we have a setting, and we'd like to develop this as a comic book and a movie at the same time. Do you have anybody we could work with? And I was Oni Press's kind of crime researchy guy.
Hmm.
So they sent them my books, and they said, yeah, this guy's good. Let's do that. So we
Right.
signed a deal, and then we started developing it together. And then over like a year period, we just kind of bashed out an outline. And at one point, so here's a funny story about Ciudad. It's called Ciudad, which is short for Ciudad del Este, which is the real life place in South America where the story took place. The Russos had some connections because, they've been in Hollywood for a while. So
Right.
we get on the phone, the Russos and I, with like a former CIA guy. And he'd talk to us for an hour about what it was like in Ciudad del Este. And at the end of this particular call, he said, I tell you what, the best way to get to know it is you just fly down here and I'll show you around for a week. Well, I had read about this place. Like they kidnap people that it's not good. They were going to shoot, they shot the Miami Vice movie, you know, the Michael Mann movie.
Right.
They shot part of it there. And then Jamie Foxx said, screw you. I'm going back to America. I'm not filming down here. This is bullshit. They kidnap people down here. So, I called the Russos after that call and said, guys, I don't want to go down there. And they said, we don't either. Don't worry about it. So we bashed out an outline. It got optioned at some point.
Mm.
And I went to Hollywood for the first time and we sat in an office together for like 3 days and kind of figured out what the story was. And then I went off and wrote a graphic novel and they went off and wrote a screenplay and went from there. And then from that period, from the time I signed to do the project to the time the movie came out was a 12-year span of time of false starts, so on. And somewhere in there, they become too big to direct the movie because they're directing, you know, Avengers stuff.
Right.
And you have Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh my.
I mean, there were a lot of false starts with other actors. And because they got to know Chris through the Avengers stuff, he ended up being the perfect fit for it. So that was lucky.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but aren't we looking? They're working on Extraction 3, right?
So the third film has been talked about, but there's nothing concrete.
Okay.
I think everybody knows they want to do it, and Chris has said they want to do it. But they have to align Chris's schedule and the director's schedule because everybody loves the director and they don't want to do it without him.
Right.
So what's more imminent is a TV show based on the franchise, which has 3 cast members now and a showrunner, and is, I think, getting close to shooting. So that's probably the next thing to come out.
Okay.
And that's not Chris. It's the same universe, but different characters.
Right. I mean, and I always feel like sometimes movies that are people who work in the business, like the fact that the director was Sam Hargrave, who was a stunt coordinator turned director, is the same thing, kind of like with the director for John Wick. He was a stunt coordinator, and then he's directing these movies, and they're, you know, the rest is history.
Yeah.
So I always feel
like there's a behind the scenes video for Extraction 1 where they're talking about how they shot the car chase. And Sam is sitting on he's sitting on the hood of a car holding the camera, like driving around behind Chris, because he's been a stunt guy. He's not scared to do any of this shit. So he's really in there.
Well, Chad his name was Chad Stileski. Right, that was the director. It's amazing. I mean, like I said, it's just like I feel like we're seeing so much more of that now, you know, where a lot of graphic novels, and not just superhero ones, but non-superhero ones, are getting their day to shine. And it's great because it's just a reminder to everybody that the big two aren't the only great stories, like pumping out these great stories. And
just out of Oni, they had Atomic Blonde and Old Guard. Yeah.
And it's funny because I swear to God, when you were talking about working on like Zorro and the Lone Ranger, my brain was like, can you imagine if like Andy did like the Old West version of like putting together the Avengers with pulp characters, and my brain's like, well, Lone Ranger is Cap and Zorro is amazing. Then I was like, no, I'm mixing universes because I feel like I'm starting to do a Justice League instead of the Avengers, because I was like, Zorro's kind of Batman-y, you know, and then my brain's like, no, don't do this. Don't be that fanboy. Don't start. Who would be doing what? And I'm just like, but now that you said it, it's really hard not to imagine like a one shot of Captain America and the Lone Ranger teaming up being like the coolest fucking thing ever.
I like that. There was a tie. So I forget what the relationship is, but Green Hornet and Lone Ranger are related, right?
Something like that.
There's great uncle or some such thing. And the Dynamite talked to me about a project sometime, but we never pulled it together. So.
Oh man, that would have been cool. I mean, yeah.
So can I go back to something Jeremy was talking about?
Oh, please.
About differences. I
Yes, sir.
feel bad. Like I'm not offering you guys a chance to ask questions. I'm just
No, you're good.
rambling.
Yep.
So I can address why Ciudad is different than Extraction in a few key areas, I think. Ciudad del Este is a real place in South America, this very lawless place. There's an amazing documentary that's terrifying that I watched when we were developing it about all the kidnapping and drug trafficking and human trafficking and all this shit that goes on there. And we were really attracted to that setting, and we set the book there, and the first screenplay was set there.
Mm-hmm.
But what happens in Hollywood is that project got optioned by Paramount, and at some point they also option and get the rights to a project called Triple Frontier, which I think eventually got made with Ben Affleck, which is set in the same area. That's another word for Ciudad del Este, another name for it. At which point Paramount says, guys, we're making Triple Frontier, so Ciudad del Este is screwed. And my guys say, well, can we have it back and we'll go elsewhere with it? And Paramount says no, because we don't want a competing project set in the same place. Hence, if you move, so we say, okay, how about we take our project and we move it to a different part of the world? Are you okay then? And Paramount says yes. And so it happens in India instead of Ciudad del Este, and then everybody's happy.
Okay. That makes
and it
sense.
turned out being kind of fortuitous because it opened, that part of the world had not had like a Western style action star do that kind of picture, you know? So it really opened up that market in the world. They were very excited about it. So that was cool. And I feel like it's an area we'd seen not enough of anyways. So it was fun.
Oh, good stuff.
And how much control did you have in that when you they were doing the screenplay?
I wrote the book and that was it. I write the book and they have to write me checks when they do stuff, and that's it. So they don't ask my opinion when it's time to shoot the movie or anything. There are parts of the first movie that are directly out of the book, and there are parts that are quite a bit different. And there's one part of the book that the Russos told me in the room when I pitched it, that's perfect. That's just what we want. And there's no way it'll be in the movie. It's way too grim. But we want you to do it. So, you know, there are similarities and things that I look at in the film and go, wow, like 500 million people are seeing the idea that I came up with. That's really cool. And there are moments where I say, I never heard of that before, but it's still good. It's okay.
Yes, it still is your IP, though, right?
So that I will credit Joe Russo came up with that. He had from the beginning, he wanted the finger chopping and the kid off the roof moment, and that stayed in it all through.
There you go.
Yeah, you don't forget that scene. That's intense.
I mean, you're just describing this, and I'm like, well, in another place in the world that I just don't need a book a vacation to.
Right.
You know, just, you know, you're talking about all these things, and I'm like, okay, scary place of the world, kind of like a real world version of Madripoor from Marvel. I like this is just a Moss Isley den of scum and villainy, just total human trash. So thank you, Andy. I will make sure we take that. You know,
there's a lot of lovely nonviolent places to visit.
Yep, I'll do what I was planning, Mexico or Cuba, or you know, other places where those things can happen, but it's just not as widely advertised.
Yeah,
you know.
Oh, I'd love to go to Cuba. That's a good idea.
Yeah, there you go. You know, just we're getting there again, but I don't know. Jar, Carrie, MJ, do you have any other questions? I'm good. I think.
Actually,
did you say yes? You just said actually.
I said no. I think I'm all set actually. Like,
okay, Carrie.
Oh, okay. No, we've kept him for over an hour now, so I don't want to take up more of your time right now, Andy.
Yeah.
And
It was
We-
great. Again, I feel like I just kind of monologued. I feel guilty.
You did fine. We
it's
kind
your
of fed
show.
you the subjects. We were just like, yeah, what about this? What about this? And hold on, let me speak for our Ginger Black Bolt here. He says, we are past time. I've enjoyed Andy hanging with us. Hey, whoa. Shut it down. Okay? Don't make me rhyme again.
Oh,
You won't
no.
like the crime. Don't do the time. Rhyme. My name is Etrigan. So
no.
stop it. And she's like, I don't you dare slap.
I knew you were
slap
gonna do.
the
I
rhyme.
knew you were gonna say that too. I knew you were gonna do it.
Hey, and you did not stop me, so you're partially responsible. So,
Fair.
Don't worry. We torture Drew all the time on the show, so he'll get his just coming up here because we have.
Hey, I'm right here. Don't talk about me like I'm not here. Don't give me that silent treatment bullshit. Stop it. You're embarrassing me in front of Andy. Never even met this guy.
That's true.
No, that wasn't to you, Andy. You've been great. Thank you so much. Love the hat. I love it. It's kind of like he took a note from Tracer Bullet and Calvin and Hobbes. I was like, I'm going to do that. I'm going to just fedora that. It's very
like I
classic.
have to represent my brand. Yeah.
Yeah. Before you go, are you going to any conventions that people watching could, find you at or anything? Or are there any good places that people, if they want to interact with your work or interact with you on social media?
I will.
Or new projects coming.
I will promote two things.
Go for it.
On the convention side, I'm doing 2 in September, and that's it. No, that's not true. I have one in November too, but it's local, so I don't think about it. So I'm going. Phil and I are both going to Rose City Comic Con in Portland, Oregon, the first weekend of September, and we're there representing and helping the Hero Initiative. So we'll be sitting at their booth and doing sketches to benefit the Hero Initiative, and we're doing a drink and draw thing Friday night to raise money for them as well. And then 2 weeks later, more in your neck of the woods, Carrie, we'll be up in Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
Carrie, you need to get better so you can hang out with your buddy.
At SuperCon, which is their 10th anniversary show. And it's a super friendly, really good show. I highly recommend that one. I've been to that one once before.
Okay. Nice.
And then on the career front, it was just announced at San Diego. I've been working for a while, but I was still kind of secret. But I'm in the second tier of Ignition Press's creator cycle. So first year is Jeremy Hahn and Tim Seeley and Cullen Bunn and some other people. Second year, Phil Hester and I have new books, totally new creations rolling out.
Cool.
So I've been working hard on that, and I'm very excited about that stuff. I can't talk about projects, but I can say I'm part of Ignition Press, and that's really cool.
Nice.
That is so awesome. I've been following them. Yeah.
They're very exciting, very smart people running it, and it's good. They're giving me a chance. It's the first chance I've had to make a good wage doing creator-owned books where I get to do exactly what I want and create new properties. So yeah, it's really good.
That's wonderful. There's been a number of different things coming out lately with like Ghost Machine as well, and EC coming back, and a couple of other groups like that. But Ignition is one of them that I'm just like, yeah. I think it's got a great team. They have a great way that they're doing everything. Distillery came out too, and Distillery is great, but they're odd because everything's a different size, and it's like, you get all this extra creative. Yeah, but a lot of the artists enjoy it because they have so much more panel space to work with.
Yeah.
But as a collector, it's like, where am I going to put this? Right. You have to buy their boxes and their bags and their boards because that's the only way you can.
I'll be right back. I'll show you.
Oh boy.
Oh, okay. We get to see things.
So I got my Neil Adams Artist Edition.
Wow.
It's like 250 some pages.
You can definitely kill someone with that.
And then I got my John Byrne X-Men Artist Edition.
Wow.
And they're delightful, and I love them. But then you read them once, and you're like, holy shit, where am I going to put this thing?
Story of Carrie's life.
Yeah. Did you see me when I brought in in Kansas City, I brought the complete Harrow County, the hard slipcase
Oh
edition.
God,
It
no.
10.5 pounds. And
Did
I
you have
carried
a
that thing in for
conveyance?
Cullen
Did
to
you have a
sign.
vehicle of some kind?
Yes. I
You
had
had
it
a
in my
wagon?
backpack, and that they weren't letting those in.
Oh no.
Oh
I carried it in a backpack and had him sign it, and then the next day they were like, "Oh, you can bring little like small wheeled little suitcases." I'm like, it said no, and they were like, "No, we were talking about like those giant." Like I saw a family with a bunch of kids that were trying to bring in the wagon that holds 3 children and this, that, and the other. And they were like, "No, you can't do that. That's
Right.
just too much." But they
Too
let me
much.
bring in my little wheelie cart after I'd already carried it in, like sweating. It was just like, "Cullen, please sign this," and he was just
Right.
like, "You seriously carried that thing all the way up the stairs?" And I'm like, "Yes,
Next
I
time,
am
if
that
you want
insane."
Cullen, you should just hang out at the bar like Friday night. You'll see him there.
Oh, I'm on his Discord, and there's a drinks page where we all post up our cocktails.
Right.
And he is one of the founding members, of the super secret horror comic book creators Tiki Club.
Oh,
So,
nice.
No.
yeah, you might need to
Yeah.
get in on that.
No, those horror people have all the fun. I don't think there's any such thing for crime writers.
You could get a little horror-y. You could do it. I'm sure you could. The Wretch counts a little bit. He's
Yeah.
not really horror, but he's got the dark thing going. He
Yeah.
could be
Oh,
a
did you
horror.
guys hear how I tormented Carrie with my original art sales in
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
It was so
Poor Carrie.
much. It was so beautiful, but I'm with you. You can't split those pieces up. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
he,
She said she was twisting,
yeah.
just
I
dangling
could
in
see
the
her little
wind.
brain, her huge brain. Sorry.
Oh yeah.
Working.
yeah, he had a beautiful art set, folks, and he had 2 pieces. I had done the panel with Phil, and we covered his Silent G.I. Joe as well as some stuff from the Wretch, and we did Snow, and he had panels from the one that we had just gotten done doing sitting
2
there. But
consecutive pages from Snow. Yeah. But I
yeah,
feel
but
like
they
it would be
had
not right to split them up. So yeah.
you can't. Yeah, they can't be orphaned. They're a bonded pair. They,
Yeah.
like pets. They have to they have to
Guys,
stay together.
guys, save it for your next convention.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
We'd love to have you back on again, though,
yeah,
Okay.
and continue chatting.
It's a
So
deal. Let's do it next year when I have some books come out from Ignition.
there you go.
absolutely, and keep us posted on that, and we'll make sure we're promoting everything as it's coming out too.
Okay.
Yes, please. But Andy, thank you so much for joining us. This was absolutely great. We
Thank you,
really
guys. Really
appreciate
fun.
you putting up with all of our madcap wackiness. From the silent partner to the Carrie. It's the new villain there with the squirrel, and then with the enthusiastic demon girl over there. So yep. So thank you for joining us. We really appreciate it. And again, let us know if there's anything new. Like Gary said, we'll gladly promote it. And come back anytime you want. And
Cool.
do you remember the stuff about the StreamYard?
I do. 100%.
Cool. All right. Cool.
Awesome.
Cool. No problem. No problem. Jar, hold on. I'm just saying, Jar has anything. He just says thank you. Big smiles. Big smile. Thank you. All right. But thank you again, Andy. We really appreciate it. And good luck
My
with
pleasure.
everything you got coming up. Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye. Have a good night.
Take the bourbon away.
Put the bourbon down. Put the bourbon down.
Putting the bourbon down.
Put the bourbon down.
He doesn't get the
little
bourbon.
hellion.
He's a terrible squirrel.
He is. But yeah. But
Okay. I know I said I understood this. I should hit leave studio. Yes.
yes.
And then
But
I'll
when
see
you get to
Yeah.
leave studio, it'll leave you to an uploads page. You leave
Got
that open until it's 100%. And if
Got it.
if there's an issue, Carrie will find it and she will message you personally with like a link or something so you can re-upload. And
All right. Here I go. Good night, guys.
good night.
Good night. I love him.
We know. Do you want to unmute Jar, or is that just going to create chaos?
He is in charge of his own muting.
How's it sound now?
It just kind of sounds like you have a fan going a little bit.
I don't have anything going.
He doesn't have any fan going. He is the fan. He is the walrus. Cuckoo, kachoo, cuckoo, cuckoo, kachoo.
I don't think it'll be that bad talking about news and stuff. I just didn't want to talk when we had Andy on. There were things.
There is MJ. There's a comment that I want to say, but I'm going to save it for after the show because I don't want you to reach through the screen and bot me.
Okay.
Yeah. No. It's funny. I just.
Oh, okay. I'm like, what did I do? I am sitting here minding my business.
No. It's funny. I'll tell you later. But let's get the news done. Let's get the news done first. So.
Oh no! There's something before the news.
Oh yeah. Oh look! What there beyond the horizon? Could that be? All right. Let's start it up. Variant watch.
Okay. Hold on, just a second here. I gotta.
Yep. No. Take your time.
I'm not as cool as Leo. If I have too many things open, StreamYard won't let me open anything. So.
Yeah. Well, talk to him when he gets out of the box.
Get out of the box, Leo.
Leo, what are you doing in the box? Okay.
Hey, listen. That was a thing in 90s Deadpool comics. So let's not even. Okay. So it is the 30th anniversary celebration of Disney Pixar's Toy Story. So Marvel is reminding us that you definitely got a friend with all of us, especially if you have got cash, with the release of 3 Toy Story homage variant covers. So these are drawn by Disney comic book artist Marco Forcelioni and illustrator Nikki Nicotera, reimagining classic Marvel covers, with the beloved characters that we all know and love. So they're going to be featured in November on issues of Amazing Spider-Man, Captain America, and the Avengers.
Oh.
So, no, Carrie, that's the next one. So,
yeah.
I mean, they're pretty self-explanatory. What is what? I mean, the first one is the Avengers, the classic Avengers assemble cover with all of Andy's toys. Then you've got Amazing Fantasy cover with Woody saving one of the aliens from Pizza Planet. This is where all that Disney knowledge comes up. Very helpful. And then, of course, the last one is Nick Fury, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. With Buzz Lightyear to the rescue. So these are, like I said, going to be out in November. So if you like what you see, don't leave these covers in the bargain bin. Take them home.
And I'm going to go ahead and not take it down. Next up.
Yep. All right. So this is the latest big upcoming variant cover collection. This was released at San Diego Comic-Con last month. Best-selling cover artist In-Hug Lee is depicting Marvel heroes wearing sleek retro wear. So these are the Streetverse variant covers. So we're going to see our superhero costumes into tech wear, which is a style incorporating futuristic aesthetics and emphasizing basic functionality. So Spider-Man, the Fantastic Four, the Avengers, X-Men, even Doctor Doom are all going to be here. And I'm not going to lie, some of these look pretty fucking cool. Like, I feel like I can see MJ taking notes.
Kind of. I'm building up a list.
This Cap, he's so young looking. I was just like,
that clearly first unfrozen Cap there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great Electro.
Yeah, that is.
That's a great one.
Oh,
he's not wearing pants.
Hobo Carnage.
Hobo Carnage.
Oh,
She's quite young as well.
That's a nice Sue Storm there.
That's really
I like
Casual,
how she's just
fantastic.
going invisible down at the bottom.
Oh
Mhm.
wow!
Oops,
You
double clicked.
had Emma Frost there.
He's
Nice.
sparkly.
That is very much for the winter. Oh look, kids! Wolverine taking off his jacket. Right.
He's walking down the runway. He's like, boom.
Yeah.
Yes.
What's
All
up,
right.
Danger?
All right.
There you go.
Heck yes.
Yo,
Ooh,
look at that Doctor Doom.
look at that Doom.
Nice. Oh, that's a
Very
great
nice.
She-Hulk.
It's like, I'm eating a Dunkin' biscuit.
Yeah.
Yes, I am.
Yep.
I don't get Storm's collar.
Wow.
That was the one where I was like, that looks uncomfortable.
A little bit, but yeah.
The rest of it looks great. I'm just like,
Oh yeah.
Is it a hood or is it a collar?
I don't know. Well,
I think
Hold
it's
on,
just
hold
the
on.
collar, like a
it's clearly a collar. Like
like
it
a
looks
Remember,
like
cowl.
this is supposed to be like more of a streetwear, so there could be like this attaching a detachable hood or something.
Yeah, it's cool though.
There.
It's very cool.
And then of course Hulk is just making sure that the pants are elastic.
Yeah.
That's a
cool.
that's a nice Thor redesign.
Hmm.
Oh
Beach
look.
like,
Oh MJ, take some notes. Your girl.
Yeah, that's too much skin showing though, because literally I don't get it's casual, but like
Oh, excuse me. So sorry. Move on, please. Too much skin.
I don't mean it like that.
Oh God, what is it with? Oh God.
Oh, look at that. That is cool.
being hobos.
Yeah, hobo
Well, I don't
venom.
think they're hobos.
I don't know
Ridiculously well muscled hobos. And white shoes.
He didn't skip leg day.
You know, that man does not need to skip leg day. He's got to stop eating people. Oh,
And there's
that's a
their
great
last
magic.
one.
That's
Yeah.
a great magic.
Yeah,
Just
it is.
casually, just packing the soul sword, just walking away.
I could see them rocking this on
Do
the
your
day to
thing.
day when they're not out fighting crime or whatever.
Yeah, well, with all due respect, MJ, no one needs to give you any more weapons. Especially not an enchanted demon sword. I'm like, yeah, let's just not. Because again, if I give you that, then we got to give Jeremy his, He-Man sword, and then that just ends up.
Again,
No, put it down.
I'm not seeing a downside to this, man. If I go in, everyone, we're going to have to shove everybody. I didn't see a downside.
Put it down, Jar.
Swords for all. Swords for all.
All right.
See?
All right. Okay, back to us saying. All right, so now, without ado, it is time for the thing. So, do it, Carrie. Bring on the news.
Drew's News. Exciting tales, fresh comic views. In the pages, heroes fly, villains fly under the sky. From Gotham's dark to Metropolis views, we cover stories old and new. Drew's News. Your daily source for comic clues. Join the fun, it's a heroic cruise in the world of Drew's Comic News.
Okay, for the longest time, I thought, Jar, that was you singing that. I just want to say that.
It is.
Oh, okay.
There's another one
You're-
with Carrie's
good
voice.
job.
Too.
No, there's like a Chat GPT version, I believe, at one point.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I didn't. know
Whenever doing it, I was just like, I'm dying. Because I was just like, Metropolis News, Drew's News. I'm like, oh, God. All right, so let me start this then with one of mine, which I'm very excited about because we actually talked a little bit about this with Jimmy Palmiotti when we saw him at Terrificon. As we know, Marvel Knights is back. As we're already halfway into Black Panther: Worlds to Come, and Jimmy Palmiotti is announced on the Punisher Marvel Knights series, which is with Dan Panosian, was supposed to be brutal. Jimmy just can't help but want the bloodshed to continue, so he's returning to two of Marvel's most iconic street level heroes with Daredevil, Punisher, The Devil's Trigger, which is a 5-issue limited series under the Marvel Knights banner with Jimmy writing, and then rising star artist Tommaso Bianchi, known for working on Thunderbolt's Doomstrike. So this is a new chapter in the ongoing war between the Devil of Hell's Kitchen and Frank Castle. So the synopsis is, when the Punisher targets the resurging Gnucci crime family with his trademark vengeance, Daredevil is forced to intervene between the battle with the gang and, of course, Frank. What follows is a high-stakes clash between two vigilantes who want justice, but on different terms. As Frank escalates his war on crime, Daredevil watches a new wave of criminal syndicates rise in the once feared family's place. It's law versus lethal force, justice versus vengeance, and neither side is backing down. Yeah, so this is just, Jimmy promises there's going to see more of that moral tension between Frank Castle and Matt Murdock, and just pushing it to almost a breaking point. A philosophical brawl as it is a physical one. He said he promises it. It's been brutal, thoughtful, and it's everything he loves about the characters. And right there, that's the cover by Kendrick Kunka Lim. And this, I think, is coming out probably in, I would say, November. Something like that.
Okay.
But I mean, listen, I'm
Cover
all
looks
for.
great.
Oh yeah, no, I'm ready for more Marvel Knights level Punisher, Daredevil level stuff. I mean, that's just peak Marvel Knights. So coming back to it, I'm like, I might buy more Marvel now. Might. But yeah, this looks awesome, and I'm really excited for it. So.
That
Yep.
cover's beautiful.
Yep.
So next up we have MJ.
Oh, MJ,
yes.
It was so hard not to nab this one, but I was like, all right, I'll be nice. But this is awesome. So go for it, girl.
Oh, this comes out, I believe they said last month at San Diego Comic-Con, I believe it comes out in November.
Yes.
It's like, I believe they said 5-issue series, so it's a very
5 issues.
5 issues. Hey, look at me go! I took notes.
Yeah, you're 2 for 2.
Yay! This is great because it's literally. I mean, how much patriotic can you be? Captain America, Spider-Man, Iron Man. You know, going back to the literal start of the 1776 Revolution. Yeah, revolutionary, and just. That's so cool because something's happening, a calamity striking. They have to pretty much write history. And it comes from the legendary writer J. Michael Straczynski. I hope I didn't. I hope if I really apologize.
You did good. Keep going.
Straczynski, and I believe Ron Lim and Sean Damian Hill, both fantastic artists. So it's one of an unusual team up because not only does it have the heroes, but it stars like George Washington. You know, I have it here. I wrote it's a one of a kind team up because they go for like George Washington, Benjamin Franklin. That's who is, and John Adams to keep history from pretty much being rewritten.
Yeah.
And I am so on board for this because I love history, and that's just.
The Silver Surfer's in it too.
Really
That's crazy.
Honestly.
Well, I mean, and on top of it, you just got some top-notch covers. I mean, the first one was Pete Woods. The variant was by Joe Quesada. You got that homage cover by Phil Jimenez. Then you got your variants. You know, like look at them. They're just great. That's the Phil Jimenez homage. You got Quesada there.
That's going to be one of my favorite ones right there. Captain America with that. That's just.
Yep.
That's stellar.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you got the wraparound variant by Stephen Root. Like, again, hands down, great.
So is this Yankee Doodle going to town to stride a pony? He doesn't have a cap to stick his feather in, so we can't call him macaroni.
No. The word is, couldn't put a feather in his cap, but here he's gonna save the country. Boom.
I guess he is Cap, so we could just put a feather on Cap.
This is true. This is true.
Carrie, I think you're leaning. We had to let JMS work. We got to let him see what he does. But this to me feels like it fits right in with like Marvel 1602. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just it's going to be really interesting to see how our Marvel heroes try not to rewrite history, but
also save history at the same time. Because
yep.
because
Let's fucking go, man. So
It's gonna be like little engravings. Like
I just want to point out, if Deadpool is in any way involved and he sees, I think, what was it, John Adams, and he wonders what Mr. Feeney is doing here, I will die. No, I'm just saying, because remember, the same actor played John Quincy Adams in 1776, the movie. So if that happens, I will die. I'll be like,
I believe that William Daniel. I do.
Yep, William Daniels. Yeah, so that would be pretty fucking funny. But
okay.
Yeah, no, looks great. Let's what's next, Carrie?
We have Jar Jar.
Yay! Marvel has announced a brand new ongoing Doctor Strange set to debut in December with Doctor Strange #1. It has the creative team is writer Derek Landy from Infinity Watch and artist Ivan Fiorelli from the Fantastic Four. In this storyline, Doctor Strange is no longer Earth's Sorcerer Supreme. That mantle now belongs to Doctor Doom as one of the One World Under Doom event.
Right.
Forcing Strange to take on the role as Sorcerer Supreme of Asgard. With Asgard disconnected from Earth, or Midgard, following Thor's rebirth as a mortal, Strange becomes stranded and must journey across the 9 realms. He will team up with Angela, Thor's sister, and a long-awaited returnee to Marvel Comics to navigate strange and often dangerous new realms. The main cover for issue #1 is painted by fantasy illustrator Alex Horley, with variant covers by Fang Yang and Luciano Becchio. Strange's new costume is designed by Jeff Shaw and the creative team, including Dono Sanchez Almara for colors, and promises a visually bold take. Before the ongoing series launches, Doctor Strange 450 will serve as a prelude, introducing Strange's updated look with his new mystical arsenal in setting up the narrative.
Nice.
Writer Derek Landy describes the series as bigger, crazier, and more mind-bending than past Doctor Strange storylines, driven by a deeper exploration of angelic societies, the 9 realms, and cosmic mystery. Fiorelli expresses excitement in the freedom this storyline offers, especially in designing new magical and visually imaginative settings. So make sure you pick this up December 3rd.
Okay, will do. Yeah, that looks awesome.
All right. And next up, we are back to Drew.
Oh, God. Yo, I am thoroughly pumped for this. I'm sorry. I'm a huge Batman Beyond fan, and I'm a huge Static Shock fan. So this is awesome. So you have Batman Static Beyond, a 6-issue limited comic series falling within the Elseworld imprint. So this is writer Evan Narcissi with visionary artist Nicholas Draper-Ivy for a futuristic team-up that we've never seen. So November 12th, we're going to see Terry McGinnis, a.k.a. the cyberpunk guardian of Neo-Gotham, and Virgil Hawkins, the primary superhero of Dakota City, in a high-stakes mission that could essentially reshape the Earth. So we have Terry in Neo-Gotham, Virgil pioneering technological revolutions with the launch of the Q-Wave energy grid. So as Earth prepares to join a powerful interplanetary alliance called the Cooperative, the Justice League Beyond stands ready for a new era of peace. But when a mysterious villain triggers a global blackout, the planet's future is now in jeopardy. With technology crippled and chaos rising, Static and Batman must forge an unlikely alliance and take a grounded approach to saving the world before it is too late. So This builds upon a relationship that Nick had built between Static and Batman in the Milestone 30th anniversary special, where they first teamed up. So essentially, the story is a commentary on our over-reliance on technology and the dangers, basically becoming complacent and too comfortable using AI to substitute our own imagination and human ingenuity. So, it's really interesting because, again, you have Terry, who's, still learning what it's like to be Batman. And you got Virgil, who's an adult now, and he's a member of the Justice League, but he's still driven by that same, his adolescence where he dealt with systemic injustice in his hometown of Dakota. So it's essentially their approaches are very different, but it's can you work together in a critical moment where everything you've taken for granted is falling apart? So you had the main cover was by Nicholas. There's artwork by Dustin Rahaza, and then there's a 125 incentive variant by Dennis Cohen and Hoyche Anderson. Again, these all just look amazing. So I'm so fucking ready for this. This is going to be awesome.
That cover looks so dope.
What happened?
That cover right there looks really nice.
Right? This is going to be so good. So very excited. So, yep. That's all I got to say about that. It'll be a shock to your system. Shway. All right.
And I'm up next. So,
you've been dying to tell this story.
Oh, yeah. Since he posted, I was just like, oh my God. So Philip Kennedy Johnson and Nick Klein have been doing a hell of a job with the Incredible Hulk over the past 2 years now. His story has set the Hulk against the mother of all horrors and her firstborn, the eldest, by sending out all of the monsters against the Hulk, aka the Fractured Sun. Now, in issue 30, that's going to be coming out in October, all of the pieces are going to begin to fall together, and we will be brought into a new Age of Monsters, which incorporates the entire Marvel Universe. We're going to be seeing a thoroughly destroyed Hulk separated from Banner, who his body is now, the Hulk's body is now host to the eldest, and will be carrying the title of the Infernal Hulk. He is 10 times stronger than the already OP Hulk was before this, and the monsters are plotting to drag the world into a place of darkness through taking the heroes and altering them into horrific beasts. We are now left with Bruce Banner, who is Hulkless, but determined to try and save the world from the mother of all horrors and her nefarious scheme. Philip has to say about this: I've been promising Hulk fans the biggest, boldest status quo change in Hulk's history, and that time is finally here. The next few issues of Incredible Hulk give fans all the answers they've been waiting for about Eldest and the Mother of Horrors, and Infernal Hulk is the beginning of a terrifying new normal, not just for the Hulk series, but for the entire Marvel Universe. There are monsters way worse than and more powerful than anything we've seen so far, bigger and stronger than Hulk, with origins that go back to the foundations of the Earth. It's time to take history to the next level, and no corner in the Marvel Universe will be left untouched before the end.
Oof. I'm in.
Pardon me there. And Nick, who's been drawing pretty much all of it, also had to say working on the Hulk, whether it be Incredible and now Infernal with Philip, has been a dream. Philip is not only an amazing world builder and craftsman who pours so much heart into this book, but he also has become a great friend and fantastic collaborator through this. Infernal Hulk is where the journey was always going to go all along, and I'm so excited to see readers' reactions to it. I know I'm putting a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into it, as always. And I'm in love with this. I love this idea. It's going to be interesting to see how they do it, because we had Immortal Hulk. We had a couple of different runs on Hulk. We've had Hulk separated from Banner before, and Banner was just completely lost and unable to function and kept trying to do this. But having Hulk stripped away from him and possessed, basically, is going to be That's going to be a hell of a story to follow.
Totally.
Forgive me. This is why I'm only doing one story, guys, because I'm just like,
We're here for you.
all right.
Carrie.
Thank you.
Jar,
And
take us home.
speaking of here, yes.
Take it home. All right. Now, I don't remember how much we've already gone over this, but
Not
creative.
Jar.
Deadpool.
I'm sorry. To answer your question, not much because we've only went over Deadpool, Batman. This is kind of the first we're really hearing of Batman, Deadpool.
All right, so Batman Deadpool. Everything we know is newly announced in the details. And main creative team, the lead story is written by Grant Morrison. Stunning art from Dan Mora. Morrison teases a chaotic mix of metafictional antics, cosmic horror, and 200% more Grant Morrison-esque Grant Morrison. Grant Morrison is a crazy writer. His Doom Patrol was insane. He says to expect owls, blades, blood, and even giant typewriters, whatever that means. The one-shot includes several subplots featuring intriguing crossovers between DC and Marvel characters. There's a John Constantine and Doctor Strange story by Scott Snyder, James Tynion IV, and Joshua Williamson.
I'm so on board for this.
And art by Hayden Sherman, who I don't really know much.
He's doing Absolute Wonder Woman.
Oh, okay.
And also Batman Dark Patterns.
Ooh. There's a Nightwing and Wolverine story by Tom Taylor and art by Bruno Redondo.
Yep.
Harley Quinn and the Hulk hot dog eating contest.
Yes.
I love how it says.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. Oh, it's Nate Man's instead of Nathan's. Isn't Nathan's the New York hot dog company?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. That's by Mariko Tamaki and Amanda Connor. Kamala Khan and Static by G. Willow Wilson and Denise Cowan. And then there are a million variant covers.
Tons.
You got wraparound cover by Dan Mora, foil variant by Mora's of that cover as well. You got Lee Bermejo, Mark Brooks, Jim Choon, Nick Dragotta, Jenny Frison, Andy Kubert, Jay Lee, Jim Lee, Alexander Lozano, Sean Murphy, Frank Quietly, and Bill Seikenwitz, and Ryan Sook, and Souza Maika. And there's even more. The Lee Bermejo, which I'm pretty sure Leo is going to be looking for. Joker, Dr. Doom pairing. Like, that's got to look fucking insane.
I mean, yeah. I mean, this is just such a delight, and I don't know which one of these I'm looking forward to more because they're both amazing. But some of the pairings in this one are just top tier, great.
Yeah.
And I know because I told MJ about the Doctor Strange, John Constantine, especially that James Tynion was coming back from a quote unquote retirement of superheroes to write the story with Snyder and Williamson. And I was like, oh God, what a great story.
Well, that all comes to us in November.
Absolutely.
It's going to be...
November is going to be a very busy month.
It's been a while since I bought comics off the stands, and both of these, Deadpool, Batman, and Batman Deadpool, are I love crossovers like this.
I like I said, I was just looking over all of these covers, and I don't know which one I would actually get because they're all just fantastic.
Yeah,
I was just thinking the same thing.
What is he
doing?
No.
I'm sorry.
Is he fixing his cowl?
Maybe, but MJ, I'm sorry. I know you're getting the John,
yes,
Doctor Strange one.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean,
this one's
for me. I'm sorry. For me, I would get the Sean Murphy Deadpool Lobo cover. That was just fucking funny.
Yeah, but I also like the Wonder Woman and Storm as well.
Well, yeah, and that one's special because again, you remember they're fighting in DC versus Marvel.
Yes.
So
Yes.
you know,
So it's like, well, fine.
look at these. These pairings are fantastic.
Oh yeah.
That's Jim Chung's work. I'd recognize those lines anywhere. Those are gorgeous. Nick Dragata. That's Nick Dragata. I recognize that Batman. Yeah, that's Jenny Frison, right?
He looks sneaky in that one. Like
He
Yeah.
does.
Well, so
These are
and then,
beautiful.
yo, I'm sorry. Look at that. Him chart like hold on. Bring that back. Bring that. Look, Mahana. Look at your boy charging up the Joker card against Robin.
I'm like, you know,
That's an
I'm
old
gonna buy
school
you
Joker card.
covers.
That's Andy Kubert, Mahana.
Yeah,
Oh,
Look at that. That's stunning.
I think that's
after
probably
wearing that
the one I'm
Gambit
getting.
cosplay on Saturday, I'm definitely gonna already know where I need to fix it and make it upgrades.
Yeah, Big Barda and Rogue. That's
Mhm.
Jay
I
Lee.
saw this wrong.
It's
When I
okay.
first pulled up the color, it was, oh, she's grabbing her and pulling. I just thought she was like, "Hi."
No. Wow, Carrie. Wow, Carrie. Well,
Hey,
then
we're
you got
18
your
plus.
then you got your classic Jim Lee. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His
Like,
Batman is unmistakable.
look at that. That's not bad. Too.
This
That's
one's so pretty.
You see, look at
Like
that.
the
That's
fanboy.
just fucking funny. That's just Sean Murphy. Just energetic. Like I just love them
Yeah.
palling it up.
And Batman's all wrinkly. They're both their outfits aren't skin tight. They're like, oh, we got these back from the wash, and they put them in the wrong cycle, so now we have to shrink them
Yep.
again. Damn.
Indeed. But
Vacuum seal them.
Whoa.
I don't know.
And
Is
is
I
he
don't know,
just
I'm not-
holding on to like Wolvie's dead adamantium
Yes,
skeleton there?
That's from
okay.
Deadpool. That's from Deadpool Wolverine.
Okay, yeah, thought so.
Yeah.
I first looked at it, I'm like, what? Well, that's what? Oh, that's Batman that's in the thing. Okay, that
Mhm.
makes sense now.
Yeah.
'Cause
And
they
then
you know, the shapes.
the Crisis.
That's a classic
homage.
cover. Yep.
Yeah. I was like, the homage ones are fine. You know,
Yeah.
but everything
Frost
else.
and Selena Kyle.
Yeah.
Such
at those
sexy,
abs.
shiny girls.
Yeah. And they clearly work out because look at those abs.
And this
Like,
is the one that's going to be the foily as well.
Yeah. Look at that Dan Mora
Foiled
gorgeous.
again.
All right. Well, that's pretty much
All
it, I think.
right. Yeah,
Hey, we
that
did
All
is
right.
it.
410.
Nice. All right, Carrie, do you wanna sign us off?
Yep. So guys, if you want to find me, Carrie Sanders on Facebook, just look it up. All my links are there for everything I do. You find me here on Splash Pages. You can find me over on the Owlite Network. And otherwise, I just sit around at home and write things or read a lot. And that's it. But these guys are awesome, and you got to check them out too. We're going to hop over here. MJ, where can people find you and chat with you?
So
Anything
my
going on?
Instagram is the Cheery Goth. I do a lot of cosplay stuff, comic book related, just cheerful things, and yeah, that's the best way to keep up with my cosplay shenanigans and what I'm milking on next.
Jar Jar.
Hey, I'm on Facebook. That's about it. I have an Instagram and a Blue Sky because Leo kept mentioning Blue Sky, so I finally got one of those. But I don't use them.
Nice.
Yeah. So just watch me on Splash Pages.
Drew.
Hey everybody.
Drew.
It's me, I'm Drew. Hey everybody, thank you for joining us. We really appreciate it. Tune in next week where we'll have the same kind of excellent show that you've come to expect from us. Or not. It's your call, but why would you do that to us? You already were here, so stay a little longer. If you need to talk to me, I'm Drew Malo on Facebook, Ghostbuster Man 1984. God damn it, Carrie. On Instagram, I'm also on Blue Sky as well. I'm working on a bunch of things. I'm very busy. I'm very tired. So if you leave a message, I guarantee I'll get back to you probably before the end of next year.
Good
Sounds
time.
good.
Yep.
Cool. All right.
All right.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.